Hey, Shalom, our community of Rakam Bakapash from Jim Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachodash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole for expression of truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. I just want to get into this article, read through this as from The Hill concerning RFID tech implants, right? And the title here has got human microchip implants take center stage, right? So it's the talk of the town amongst tech devs, these elites, right? These corporations, no doubt being discussed in Davos and whatever, right? It's something that's being spoken about a lot now, more than ever was before, and it's something that we've been speaking about for a long time too, concerning the MOTB that's written in Revelation chapter 13 and 16, right? This technology is going to come into the world in mass soon, right, to fulfill prophecy. Okay, and people are going to be offered the choice, okay, when there's great chaos and anarchy in the world, right? They're going to be offered the choice to take the MOTB for stability, for food, right? And at that point, it's going to be like a critical junction, man. It's, those that take the MOTB, who take that in that time, are going to be ultimately destroyed. All right, and those that side with the Lord and trust and believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, they're going to be delivered from the judgment of the Lord. Okay, which is going to come upon those that took the MOTB pursuant to Revelations 14. Okay, so we're just going to read through this, man. It's a little bit lengthy, so I'm going to read as quick as I can through it, bring some scriptures along the way, and yeah, Lord, when it's edifying, right? So it goes here. So the novelty of replacing one's home key with a microchip implant is gaining worldwide interest. But there's another more compelling story under the surface. Why is this technology, an integrated circuit the size of a grain of rice, reviled by some and celebrated by self-proclaimed human cyborgs? Right. So you got those that are not really feeling the idea of putting something, in their flesh, and there's others that are making it out to be like the greatest thing ever. Right, it's gonna do so much things, help us so much, and so you get the two sides of this, but only those that don't really agree with it, they're gonna be pressured, and a lot of them are gonna cave into that pressure and take the MLTB because things are gonna get real bad out here, man, and people are not gonna have much hope. Right, but they're gonna see this as a type of hope that Esau is gonna introduce, to sort of relieve those pressures that they're facing in the time of trouble. All right, but anyway, it says let's get that part. So however, it would be prudent to tell Prince Hamlet that not all microchip implants are designed alike, and understanding the technological design enables one to better evaluate the competing viewpoints. Today, more than 50,000 people have elected to have a subdermal chip surgically inserted between the thumbs and index finger, okay, in their hand, okay, as we know, Revelation 13 and 16 reads, right? It says here, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And we know they have, them head chips or whatever, right? That go in their head. We know Elon Musk is working on such technology, right? To put it in your skull and all of that stuff. And he ain't the only one, right? So technology is being developed for the implementation of being able to put it, put a chip in your hand or on your forehead, right? So that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, right? Because you're gonna have a problem in that time. Okay, when this economy crashes, okay, and when everything's moved over to the digital system, guess what? Your access to that digital system is going to be determined whether or not you got this MOTB or not, right? So your only ability to buy and sell nothing is going to have to come through this MOTB. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use your CBDC credits or whatever, right, to purchase anything. Right, so people are going to feel that pressure, man, because people are going to want to eat and, and whatever, right, like their house, whatever the case is, right? They're going to want to do all those things. Right, so even if people out there are not with it, they're not going to see many other ways, man. So they're just going to get down with the system because they're going to see that as the only way to get through, the chaos, right? But anyway, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. Anyway, this is back in the article. So 50,000 people have already, dabbled in this technology and had it input in them already. Right, to start the trend off. Right. It says 50,000 people have elected to have subdermal chip surgically inserted between the thumb and index finger serve as their new swipe key or credit card, right? Because we know it has multiple uses, right? And they're gonna make it sound cool. Or you can open doors, you can leave your keys at home and all this business. Or it's gonna have your medical records on there. So if you've got dementia or something, it's all right. They'll know. They'll just read the chip and they'll know your medical history and blah 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 blah. Never lose your children again and all this stuff, right? It will sound good to certain people, right? So yeah, it says new swipe key or credit card. In Germany, for example, more than 2,000 Germans have opted to receive these implants. One man even used it to store a link to his last will and testament. As chip storage capacity increases, right, perhaps users could even link to the complete works of Shakespeare. Haha, funny, right? Chip implants are just one of the many types of emerging technologies in the Internet of Things, right? The RFID C-HIP implants are part of the Internet of Things, okay, which is like an infrastructure that's being created around people, around everything, right? Your smart cities, your smart houses, right? Smart appliances, your TVs, your fridges, your, everything, kettles, whatever, man. All linked to one another, man, through Wi-Fi, okay? I.e., the 5G, Wi-Fi, all of that, right? Which is always continuously being developed. That's why they're even working on 6G, right? Where that you're going to be used as a walk-in antenna, right? So all this is being developed, man, for this infrastructure, man, because a new system is being implemented right now. Okay, we're moving away from the old one, right? And you're going to be active. Okay, you're not going to be passive in this new system, in this new infrastructure. You're going to be active, right? Because everything's linked to the Wi-Fi right now. Like my phone and TV, everything that's smart or whatever, right, is all linked, but you're not linked. Okay, you have a device that you use to link you with certain things, but you are physically not linked. When that C-HIP is in you, right, you're going to be linked. Okay, you're going to be integrated into this Internet of Things. Okay, you're going to be part of the system. Okay, one that you won't be able to get out of. Okay, once it happened. Okay, one that you're not going to be able to part from. Because everything that, you could possibly, it's a way of putting it. Like nothing is going to be outside that system, man. So if you want to have access to things, man, you got to be within the system. All right, let me put it like that, okay, for lack of better words right now, right? So you're going to be integrated into the system, okay, and you're going to be permanently integrated because there ain't going to be nothing outside the system, right? But anyway, this is an expanding digital cosmos of wirelessly connected internet-enabled devices. Some technologists are worried, however, that hackers targeting IoT, Internet of Things, vulnerabilities in sensors and network architecture also may try to hack C-HIP implants. Radio frequency identifications, RFID, C-HIPs are identifying transponders that typically carry a unique identification number and can be tagged with user data such as health records, social media profiles, and financial information. Right? So, the ID on you, right? You ain't got to carry ID no more. RFID are passive transponders, which means the digital reader must be positioned a few inches away from the user's micro C-hip hand to communicate. So in contrast, near field communication, NFC, which is another similar technology that is used mostly here in Europe. All right, use electromagnetic radio fields to wirelessly communicate to digital readers in close proximity. Okay, so it's the same thing essentially, right? Much like smartphones and contactless credit cards, okay, which we will have over here. Okay, your Oyster cards, your credit and debit cards, okay, your phones, okay, they all have NFCs in them. Okay, you make payments with, right? This is a benefit of NFC over RFID is international use, right? Reasons Biohacks, so they mentioned this, right? It says, with the power of existing infrastructure and the wide variety of services and products already supporting NFC standard globally, so NFC is more out there, right? One huge benefit of ours is that we overlap virtually any private or public sector already using NFC or mobile tech, right? So because it's more used, okay, it's easier to sort of build on, essentially, right? So according to 2021 United Kingdom-based consumer survey by Propeller Insights on digital payments trends in Europe, 51% of the approximately 2,000 respondents said that they would consider getting a C-hip implant to pay for services. Like, all right, so people already considering these things, or have been doing these things, right? Because it sounds convenient, don't have to carry cash and wallets and all this kind of business. They can just simply all do it from their hand. All right. So this technology is especially popular in Sweden. Okay, as we know, these Scandinavian nations, they're a bit more liberal with the whole biohacking shit. Right. It says as a substitute for paying with cash. Right. It says only 1 in 4 people living in Sweden use cash at least once a week. Right. It's NPR. More than 4,000 Swedes have replaced key cards for chip implants to use for gym access, e-tickets on railroad travel, and to store emergency contact information. The technology also may offer increased mobility for people with physically limiting health conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and motor neuron disease, according to Biotech, a UK-based tech firm. For example, a wheelchair mobile person can approach a door and the reader will unlock the door, avoiding the need for keys that the person may not be able to use for themselves. Biotech is also exploring providing microchip services for those who are visually impaired to create trigger audible or touch sensory signals in the home. Despite these benefits, the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists avers that the main challenges to chip implants are security, safety, and privacy. Right, so they got all these things that are lining up to market these implants and say how good it is and how convenient it is. But they're not really telling you the real reason of why it's being introduced. Of course, they're not gonna. All right, they're gonna sell you with all these pipe dreams, right? So a general security concern with NFC technology is that it could allow third parties to eavesdrop on device communication, corrupt data, or wage interception attacks. WarnsNFC.org. Interception attacks are when someone intercepts the data transmitted between two NFC devices, then alters the data as it's being relayed. Like any device, these personal chips have security vulnerabilities and potentially could be hacked, even if embedded underneath the skin. With regard to health safety concerns, a 2020 study with the American Society for Surgery of the Hand indicated that RFID chip implants may carry potential health risks as adverse tissue reaction and incompatibility with some magnetic resonance imaging technology. All right, and that reminds me of what it says in Revelation 16, right? The Lord is going to do to these people that take it, right? And it says here, Revelation 16, verse 2, right? And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noise and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the MOTB upon them, which worshipped his image. Okay, which is the system. Okay, Esau's rulership. That's the image of the beast. All right, that noise and grievous sorrow is going to come upon them that take it. Right, which is you go into the word grievous or sore, right? It's a pus, a discharge, right? It's gonna do some next malfunctioning in the body, man. Okay, causing like cancers and stuff like that. Okay, that's what this judgment is for those that take the MOTB. All right. This is several social scientists also are apprehensive about the risk to privacy and human rights if the body becomes a type of human barcode. Now we know, in these systems in the RFID and such, right, that is read through a barcode system, right, essentially, right? And we know the UPC Universal Product Code, contains the numbers in the barcode 6, 6, and 6. Again, if we go back to Revelation 13, it reads here at the bottom, verse 18, it says, "Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666." Okay, that's a number that's heavily used in, with these elites in the occult. All right. This is Karolinska Institute. Says chip implants can reveal sensitive personal information about your health, even data about your whereabouts, how often you're working, how long you're working, if you're taking toilet breaks and things like that. Okay, you're always being observed and watched. All right. So interestingly, the first person to implant a microchip himself was Professor Kevin Warwick from Reading University. We covered him in the past. He wanted to determine whether his computer could wirelessly track his movements at work. All right, so yeah, Esau wants to keep tabs on you at all times, man. Okay, and that's where the AI comes in, man. The Internet of Things, everything's watching you. Everything you interact with is watching you, man. Pinging off signals to one another, and Esau will know exactly where you are, what you're doing. Okay, because he wants to be like the Most High. It's Isaiah 14 and 13 says, "For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the cloud, I will be like the Most High." Because the Most High is omnipresent. He's omnipotent, so he's all things, he's everywhere, right? He's all powerful. Okay, Esau wants to be on that level, man. He wants to be able to know what everybody is doing at any time. And so with the creation of the AIs, so that's going to help him do that, because he himself is just a man. He's not God. He doesn't have the capacity to watch over all things and to process all things. He can't. But he's trying to do that or fulfill that with his technology, man. AIs that can just watch over everything. That's why the Internet of Things is important to him. This infrastructure that he's creating or has created is important to him, man, to be able to manage the earth like that. And like I said, you're the missing part of the puzzle, man. Okay, once you put that implant in you, man, when Esau pushes it out there, man, you're going to be linked to the system. You're always going to be in his hands, under his observation. All right. He wants to feel like the Most High. So yeah, in this paragraph, you got certain states in America that have brought in legislation against, mandatory, implants. Meaning that they can't enforce implants on their staff and whatever. 10 states. That's only 10 states. Okay, others don't have any protections, man. So if a company wanted to enforce that they could. And you either have the choice of leaving your job and going wherever or whatever, or take it. Some of them, like I said, some states have protections and that they can't force workers at this current moment in time. Things can all change, and they will, right? But yeah, you ain't. The thing is, you ain't only be worried about your employment, man. You should be worried about eating in general, And the government are gonna be rolling these things out, and people are gonna want to eat. Okay, so your employment is almost gonna be the least of your troubles at the time. All right, especially in a world where your currency ain't worth shit right now anyway, so it won't matter. All right, but yeah, so that's what that paragraph's going into, man. But I'm gonna bother read it all. All right, because I just want to go into the scriptures now. Okay. So yeah, that's what's being spoke about, man, and being developed. As you've been saying, beginning of our elders and apostles, we've been talking about this for a long time, man. And as the title said, man, it's taking center stage, man. It's being spoken about a lot, right? And it's something that you're gonna see more and more as we, go into this year. Okay. This is Micah chapter 2 verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand," right? So like I said, all these elites and these corporations that are working with these elites, man, they're all developing this technology, these infrastructures, ready for you, preparing you for when you take the MOTB, man. So you can plug and play, right? You're just gonna get plugged in, and now you're gonna be hooked up to everything, man. So Esau, he got you live, man. He's watching you live and, dictating to you what you can and can't do with that technology, man. It's Psalm 64 verse 6 says, "They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep." So they've been plotting and scheming this for a very long time, man. Okay, and now they're coming to the point where, it can be all realized. Okay, and that's why, Satan, Esau is moving fast, man. Trying to wrap all this stuff up. This is from Joel chapter 5 verse 12. So he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Yeah. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. All right. So even though Esau, but at the moment, it looks like he's successful in his endeavors, that he's going to achieve and obtain that which he's seeking for. Ultimately, the Most High is going to put an end to it all. Right? He's going to get who he's going to get. Right? He's going to have people implied who is supposed to be implied, and they're going to be destroyed. Okay? As determined by the Heavenly Father. Right? But ultimately, their ultimate plan is going to fail. Okay? They're not going to rule over the people with an iron fist. Okay? Forever. Okay? So the Most High is going to disappoint their plans. Okay? Yahushua is going to take away the kingdom from them. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. So lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? So we know what the plans of the elites are, what they plan on doing with this technology, what they plan to do to the people, right? And if you have any sense, right, then you will stay far away from that, okay, from them implants, right? Because I say great judgment is going to be coming with those implants, man. Okay, the MOTB is a real thing, and the only reason why this is coming to exist, why this technology exists, because it's written in prophecy. It's coming around because of prophecy, man. These are the things that we're supposed to be watching out for, that we're being tested, for, against. Okay, whether or not we believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, or we believe in man or Esau and his ability to save. Okay, Esau can't save nobody. He can't even save himself. Okay, he can't save you from the perils that are gonna come. He can't save you from the day of the Lord. Right? Only those that put their trust and faith in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai can be saved. Okay, and they can only be of the elect. Only the elect are gonna believe and have faith. Okay, and that's where we hope to be, among the elect. Okay, but we're not ignorant of what his plans are, man. Where the majority of this world, they're ignorant. You know, they're naive, thinking that Esau out here to help people, man. When he's the devil, man, he ain't here to help nobody. You know, he's a person that can't be trusted in the earth. Right? It's Psalms 55 verse 21. So the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? You can't trust anything that comes out of this devil's mouth. Of course he's going to tell you the sweet things, the things that you want to hear. Of course he's going to tell you he can cure your arthritis, you know, so your bones don't fucking ache. Of course he's going to tell you that, oh, you ain't got to carry all these identifications because it's a pain. You might got to make sure you got everything when you go out the house and you forget shit. You're like, you know, you're vexed, right? You ain't got to worry about that no more because everything's on you. It's in your hand, right? You ain't got to worry about none of that. And of course it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds convenient, right? But it's deception, man. It's a ploy, right? To get you where he wants you to be, to put you in a position of what's that, man? What's that word? Damn, it's left my head, man. Shit, man. If it comes back to me, I'll mention it again, man. You know. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, man. Compromised. To have you compromised, put you in a compromised position, man. That's what he wants. To exploit you, to exploit your weakness. That's what he wants, man. It ain't about helping you. All right. So the war was in his heart. He's looking for ways to destroy you, man, and to subdue you on a greater level than he already has. All right. It says his words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords, man. Esau's on attack right now, man, and you people don't get it. Right. I'm gonna close up with this. It's Sirach chapter 12 verse 10. It said, "Never trust thine enemy, for light as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Right. Esau is an enemy to all mankind. He is the wicked, the Most High created upon the earth. All right. He ain't here for the good of nobody. Okay. So though he humbled himself, go crouching, and yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Right? Everybody that's encountered this devil, all these different nations, man, know that Esau's the devil, man. Right? That he's done nothing but wickedness unto different nations, man, and yet we're expected to trust him. Yeah, he goes around the earth acting like he the civil one, he the one leading the way of change of towards righteousness and that. But he is the devil, man. Man, he's just preaching lies. But everyone has to eat that image of him because he's the one in power, man. He got the sword, he got the force, right? He got all the world's economies, moving to his to his beat, got the reserve currency and all this kind of business. So people have to play ball with him, man, and be nice to him. But they know he's a fucking devil, man. But some people will take it too far and they've lulled themselves to sleep thinking that it's just they're just doing their thing. He's changed and stuff like that. It's a lie. Okay, that rust is gonna show itself again, as it does, right? Verse 12: Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Don't give him opportunity, man. Like I say, he's making an opportunity for himself for you to be compromised, man. And you're gonna give him the keys to your castle, man, to your house, to everything, to you, right? You're gonna be his property. Okay. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts, right? Because this is just the nature of Esau. And people are forgetting that, right? He's always going to do the wicked thing at the end, right? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Okay, the smooth, buttery words that, he'll talk all of that. But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He had to throw you down, put you in that compromised position. All right. Says he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Okay, because he's lustful, man. At the end of the day, like, he will put on the act to have you put your guard down, so he can exploit it. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, just pretending, man. Okay, it's an act. So yet shall he undermine thee. And that's what he's doing with the people right now. Okay, he's using his image that he's put in the world. For the majority of people believe that image. Some people don't, but a lot of people believe that image, that he's just trying to do good in the world. They might make some mistakes and blah, 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 but generally he's trying to do good. That's a lie. That makes you think that everything that he does is inherently good, and that you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. And that's the problem. You're going to give this devil the benefit of the doubt, man. We should never give the devil the benefit of the doubt, because he will exploit that, and he's going to. Right? That's why I say, yet shall he undermine thee. Right? He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. That rust is going to show, and he's going to show his true self, man. Right? And like I said, the Most High made him to be the devil, made him to be the wicked. Okay, and you're going to see every ounce of that. Right? And this is why you take heed to the scriptures, man, so that you know these things, so you're not taken by surprise. If you understand these things, you know exactly who it is that you're dealing with. We know we're dealing with a snake, and we know the nature of a snake. You don't mess around with the snake, man. You don't befriend the snake. You know what I'm saying? The snake gonna bite you, man, and he's still gonna bite everybody in the ass, man, and mess everybody up, man, and enslave everybody through this MOTB. All right. So, Lord, when this is edifying, and I'm gonna end it there, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next one, man. So till next time, I say shalom.